Alright, so I just finished watching NXT Battleground. I'm going to drop this one take video for you guys because I do have some thoughts on this show. Now, my chat towards the end was incredibly mixed as to what the proper direction of NXT was supposed to be. Do you go with the status quo or do you change and shake up the entire industry? And coming into NXT Battleground, I will sit here and say that I thought they were going to shake up the entire industry. I didn't expect, both Ethan Page and Jordynne Grace to walk out as champions, but I did kind of expect one or the other to walk out as champ and to kind of change the game. And that person that I thought was going to truly walk out as champion is Jordynne Grace. Now, if you didn't see Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez, go watch it. Hell of a match. Great storytelling all the way through. And in fact, at one point, Jordynne Grace lost her earring in the fishnet of Roxanne Perez. So it was crazy. There was some blood trickling down. It looked amazing and brutal. And I loved every bit of the matchup itself. Towards the end, though, we saw Tatum Paxley grab the Impact Knockouts Championship, bring it up towards the ramp, and then out of nowhere, Ash by Elegance, the former Dana Brooke, attacked her, went after the championship, and then Jordynne Grace took them both out. And that's what led to the finish where you go back inside the ring and Roxanne picks up the win. Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and complain, and that's not the purpose of this video. But what I am going to do is I'm making this because I feel like a lot of the people in the chat didn't understand where I was coming from and what I was saying for the night. Now, I released this tweet right here, and again, since this is a one take, it's going to take me a second to pull this up, but I released this one tweet right here, and this is my overall thoughts on the show. Ignore the live chat down there. Great show, but outside of a new women's North American champion, nothing really changed. I'll be honest, thought this would go down in history as like a crazy show, but instead it remained the status quo, right? It was still a fun watch though, and that's a point that I really want to drive home. It was a fun watch. I enjoyed my few hours while watching NXT here tonight, but I can't help but sit here and say, man, was that a missed opportunity? And to me, it feels like it was. You had the world talking about NXT and TNA. Everyone wanted to know what's going on with NXT and TNA, and to the point that everybody thought like there's a legitimate chance that Jordynne Grace could walk out as NXT Women's Champion. When that didn't happen, it felt like, all right, this means Ethan Page is walking out as the NXT Champion, right? And I had people telling me in my chat, Con, you're an absolute freak if you think Trick Williams is losing the NXT title. But when you had the booking happening the way it was, it certainly led you to feel like there was maybe something more happening with this show. Now, again, this is no shots at Trick Williams. This is zero shots at Roxanne Perez. This is zero shots at NXT Battleground, because to me, it was still a fun show to watch. But I can't help but walk out of it feeling a little underwhelmed, because I thought today was when WWE was going to change the landscape of pro wrestling. And so much so that I mentioned this here earlier today, that I really hope WWE and TNA are ready to shake up the industry. Jordynne Grace winning the NXT Women's Championship is best for business. Do it. And so many people were on board earlier. So many people wanted to see it happen, but it didn't happen. And again, this is not nitpicking on the booking decision, because I understand that it can be very difficult to book another company's champion beating your champion on your show. I get it. Totally understand. I just wonder if there could have been more ways we went about this in the future. We've got that open challenge. They could have done the rematch. And maybe if Roxanne went after the Impact Knockouts Championship and had that on TNA, and then Jordynne Grace was on NXT and you continued that partnership for a little bit, there could have been something. However, I'm not the booking man in charge. I'm not the one looking behind the scenes. I'm not the one making the deals and signing the line and all that, right? I'm just some dude watching wrestling, giving my thoughts on it. But overall, I still thought tonight's show was a good show. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was great. I think the NXT Women's North American Championship match, where Kalani Jordan walked out as the champion, was excellent. In fact, it was probably the highlight of the night. Kalani Jordan has been there for a little while, and she so deserves this opportunity. So congratulations to Kalani. And then we got to see another crazy matchup with Obafemi, Wesley, and Joe Coffey. Now, I called him Joe Gacy about 5 times on my stream by accident. That was not on purpose. And so I'm going to try my best not to call him Joe Gacy and try to call him Joe Coffey. But because I just said Gacy, it's probably probably going to happen again. But Coffee, Lee, and Obafemi put on a banger of a match. It was a perfect triple threat. It had everything you needed in it, and Obafemi continued to look like a star. You know who also looked like a star on this night? It was Lola Vice, as she took the fight to Shayna Baszler at NXT Underground, and I really liked the presentation of this match. I thought, to me, might have been the best NXT Underground match we have seen yet. The MMA background of Shayna and of Lola Vice was must see. And I really wanted to see this go down, and I wanted to see it be aggressive and vicious and everything you wanted in an NXT Underground match. And we got it. We really did. So at the end, Shayna Baszler, she didn't pass out. She got knocked out, but only for a split second. The referee having to call for the fight. She was not protecting herself. And that's it. Lola picks up a massive, massive win. What else did we have over here in this one take video? We had Nathan Frazier and Axiom versus the OC for the tag team titles. Still, the match itself, it started out a little slow, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's just another Good Brothers match. Like, it's going to be what it is. But then they picked it up, and they probably put on the best Good Brothers match in a while. I don't remember any other Good Brothers match being that good, and they really tore the house down with that. So credit to Axiom, credit to Nathan Frazier for just putting on an absolutely incredible match with them. And then there was anything else that I'm forgetting here? I don't think so. We just went into the two main events, Jordan Grace, Roxanne, Trick versus Ethan Page. But I want to know, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, your overall opinions with NXT Battleground, because again, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a great show. It was a show that had a lot of hype because it could be historic and monumental moving forward. And instead, we just got the status quo, which again, not the worst thing in the world, but it certainly isn't going to light up the world. It's not going to take over social media. It's not going to be a monumental show when looking back at it. It's just going to be the show where Ethan Page made his debut and Jordan Grace lost to the NXT Women's Champion. It's unfortunate. I thought we were getting a little more here tonight, but at the end of the day, it's got to be difficult to do business like that. It really has to. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, that was a crazy, crazy wild episode of NXT that I thought could have been just so much more. Instead, probably going to be one of the more forgettable shows moving forward. But let me know your thoughts. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.